All Access, an inside look at what it takes to operate Iowa's largest entertainment and convention facilities. This is Iowa Events Center All Access from Iowa Everywhere.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of All Access presented by the Iowa Event Center here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We're broadcasting from the Channel Seed Studios. Matt Van Winkle, Adam Flack with you here for another week. Adam, how we doing?
Doing great. You know, it's another week coming by. We've got some show announcements coming up, and have already happened, and a lot of activity around here. So it's another good week, but. Yeah, a little update from last week's episode. We talked with Harold Peterson. We talked about the exterior lighting. Well, it's moving. We've got another test set up for next Monday, and
cool.
By the time you come down to your next event down at Wells Fargo Arena, you might see some different exterior lighting and an added presence down here. So we're pretty excited about that.
Well, hey, maybe a call to our listeners. Hey, if you're listening to this and you see the lights on at the event center, you're walking by, you're at an event. Take a picture, tag Iowa Everywhere, tag the Iowa Event Center at IA Event Center on Twitter. We'll retweet it, and we want to show people how cool that looks. I got to see it kind of firsthand just as you guys were testing it for Raw, and that was pretty cool. So nice new addition to the Des Moines skyline. Yeah,
it'll give us a lot more flexibility with charitable organizations, or just when people drive by, they'll know if it's an Iowa Wild or an Iowa Wolves game going on, or another type of event. So again, the building's almost 20 years old. We're about ready to celebrate our 20th anniversary. So it's nice to continue to have the blessing of Polk County to keep investing in the facility.
Well, you and I are both Cyclone fans. So when the Cyclones take down Kansas on Saturday, can we get a Cardinal and gold, maybe a ribbon around
that would be nice. That would be nice. It should be a good game up there.
Yeah.
Speaking of college basketball, I went to a Drake game last weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they played Evansville. Evansville is not a good basketball team.
Did they win by 50 or something?
They doubled up their score. They won by 49.
Nice.
But the atmosphere at the Drake games is so much better. Brian Harden and that team has done a great job. Obviously, Coach DeVries has that team playing really well. But the updates that they did, bowling it in, and there's not a bad seat in the Knapp Center, and the video board that they added in is nice. So kudos to Drake. It's great. I encourage anybody to get down on a weekend when Drake's playing at home.
Great, too. They've got great men's and women's basketball programs this year, both, probably going to be vying for NCAA tournament spots. A couple great teams. Des Moines' hometown team, Drake Bulldogs, great. Yeah, I went to a game last year, but I need to get back this year for another one. Really fun time. Usually those are great, midweek games you can get to down at the Knapp Center.
Yeah, and I think they have some GA seats up top, and we sat behind the basket, which was a good vantage point in that arena. Like I said, it's the size of the arena. There's not a bad seat, and so I encourage you to go. I'll go down. Sean Roberts does a great job on the microphone down there.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, hey, you guys have a show announcement coming up. You made one today. Let us know who's coming to the Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah, lucky to announce Nate Bargatze with the Be Funny Tour coming in May 18th on a Saturday night. So to get one of the hottest comedians out there right now that's touring on a Saturday in May is a great get for us. We're excited about it. Been holding that close to the vest for a little while as we've been hearing about it, because he's gone to some of our other buildings that OVG manages and typically will sell out. So he's now taking that step up into the bigger buildings. Mm-hmm. I saw he's got a couple of dates in Omaha and St. Louis and really all around us. But we're really excited to have Nate Bargatze here in Des Moines.
I think I even saw he's playing Cedar Rapids the next month in June. So playing a couple Iowa locations. But man, talk about a guy who's real hot right now. He hosted Saturday Night Live recently, and man, his stardom is really on the rise. And like you said, he's selling out arenas around the U.S. So great get for you guys.
Yeah, it's a real relatable comedy too. I don't know if you follow him on socials, and I think he's got 3 specials out there now.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to take a look at those. A couple on Netflix, I think one on Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. But just following him on social, and you see the little snippets of his comedy. It's pretty good. He's a dad, has a family, and talks about that some within his comedy. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's kind of like you said, the relatable type. He's got that kind of a southern accent, kind of laid back, kind of maybe
Yeah.
a little bit dry humor. What can we talk a lot about comedy shows. You guys have another one coming up late at the end of this year, Sebastian Maniscalco. But comedy, man, it's just taking off, and these arenas are really filling up with people. What can people expect me from a comedy show? It's been a while since I've been to a comedy show at Wells Fargo Arena, but the setup is cool because they usually put I don't know how he'll have his setup, but usually right in the middle of the floor, so there really isn't a bad spot. What's the environment like for a comedy show at Wells Fargo?
That's exactly right. He's playing in the round, so we'll put the stage right
Mm-hmm.
under the scoreboard, and he'll play 360 degrees, so a lot more room for him to move, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot more closer seats than you would get with an in-stage show. But yeah, I think environment for a comedy show is just people are there and relaxed, right? It's not like we have Disturbed on Thursday night, rock show, everybody's standing up and having a great time. In that way with the loud environment, but the comedy show is a little bit more relaxed, I would say.
Yeah.
A little bit more conducive, especially his to a family. And just letting him tell his jokes, just a lot of humor going throughout. Probably an opener or two, which we're never really sure of, but they'll have somebody come out and warm up the crowd a little bit. And then he comes in and he'll do probably 60 to 80 minutes of stand up.
Usually these big comedians too are bringing a couple really good opening acts too. So make sure if you're going to the show, make sure you get there on time and watch these opening acts because usually they're really funny too.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Fallon opened for him, like surprise opened for him one night. And I would not, say that that's going to happen. I don't want to get that out there. But a lot of up and coming comics, just like you would see on a musical tour.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of up and coming guys will tag along and be the warm up acts. And those are the next guys probably that you're going to see on the big stage.
So those tickets go on sale this Friday. I would imagine that's going to be a hot ticket. Probably want to get in there right at 10 a.m. when those go on sale. HyVeeTix.com.
HyVeeTix.com. Yeah, that's the best and easiest way to get tickets. And, I would say that we have a lot of people, actually happened to a close friend of mine the other day that, they just Googled, Wells Fargo Arena tickets or whatever. And you end up on a website that's not the official ticket marketplace. Right. And I think what brought our attention to it recently was somebody reached out, said, "Hey, are the Wolves sold out? I can't find 4 tickets together for the Wolves." I'm like, "Well, are you sure you're on the right website?" And sure enough, they just Googled it and then selected the first link. So you really got to make sure, no reason to use Google. Just go to HyVeeTix.com and you'll get the official ticket marketplace for our venue.
Good stuff. Yeah. Nate Bargatze has a podcast, the Nate Land podcast. Maybe we can get him on All Access. We'll have to see. Maybe we can get a guest appearance from this guy.
Let's give it a try. I mean, shoot your shot, right? Let's go after the interview. And I'm assuming it would be closer to showtime than it would be now for the on sale, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
For sure. Well, man, we've brought it up before, but we've got a couple great contests at iowaeverywhere.com. The first one we'll talk about is the Zach Bryan Quitting Time Tour. As we mentioned, coming to Wells Fargo Arena, 2 shows, April 25th and 26th. We've got a great opportunity for our listeners and viewers to win a 4-pack of sweet tickets to the show. That's for the Thursday show. Comes with free food and drinks, and you get to hang out with the Iowa Everywhere team. Maybe you get to see Adam too. Maybe you'll stop by.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop by as well. But again, this is one of the contests that we can rarely do. Our suites are typically sold out with long-term leases, but with a show like this where we have 2 back-to-back shows, it loosens up a little bit. And fortunate to be able to share with our listeners here the opportunity to sit in a suite for the show. You get a little bit more room, private bathrooms and different things on that level. So excited to share this with Iowa Everywhere.
Yeah, we're going to actually be announcing the first winner. We're picking 3 winners. The first winner is going to be announced on Thursday on 2 guys named Chris Live. So make sure you're tuning in if you've entered the contest to find out if you've won. But this contest will stay open for the next few weeks. So make sure you get in iowaeverywhere.com. Doesn't cost anything to enter. All you have to do is sign up through our page and you'll be entered to win. We got 3 winners coming up. So we really appreciate you guys offering this to our listeners and our viewers. Should be a great show. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, everything I've heard, really high energy. Lot of merch sales. I mean, he's gone up the charts quick, and I think probably a stadium tour is in his near future. So get out in the arena setting to see him before he goes bigger.
Yeah, we talked about hot tickets with Nate Bargatze. This is going to be another hot one. I know that Friday show is getting full. That Thursday one still have tickets. So Want to make sure you get into that show, and really lucky to get artists like that coming through. So another contest we have, we're just announcing it. Kane Brown's coming to Wells Fargo Arena as well. That show is on April 18th, so we got a couple more months to go, but we're giving quite a few pairs of tickets away to this one, including a $50 gift card to our full court press restaurants. We got Iowa Tap Room, Truman's Pizza Tavern, the Royal Mile, Fong's, Buzzer Billy's, and Hessen House have all contributed $50 gift cards to the winners to this. So this would be a great Valentine's Day gift if you win. All we're asking people to do, Adam, is tell us why you're thankful for your partner. So pretty easy. You don't have to send a full paragraph. You can send, a couple lines, but the better stories are going to get probably the better picks. So we're giving 11 pairs of tickets away. Win at iowaeverywhere.com. So WIN at iowaeverywhere.com is where we're asking people to submit their entries for this. So this should, again, Kane Brown, another one of the hottest country acts around right now.
What a great contest to do with his song "Thank God" with his wife, and that's the Iowa Tap Room and all those full court press places are great. So is the gift card available for any of them, or is one winner going to win one for each restaurant?
One winner will win one for each restaurant. Okay. So they've been generous enough to give those away. So perfect to go get dinner before the show. All these places are really close by to Wells Fargo Arena. So take an Uber, Lyft, or probably you can walk. In April, we could probably walk to the arena.
You can walk from most of those places. Park once and then walk up to the show.
I was playing some Kane Brown for my wife last night, and I think I'm getting her interested in the show. She's like, "Wait, what does he sing again?" Yeah. He's one of those artists that's kind of mixing pop / country. I don't know. He's kind of one of those in between those hybrid artists, but got a great voice. He's been around for a while now. I was kind of thinking he's fairly new to the scene, but he's had I think he's got like a greatest hits album on iTunes, so he's got quite a few hits out.
Yeah, he's been around. He loves those fans like Chris Williams that just love Kane Brown music. Ask Chris his comments about Kane Brown.
I might stay away from that. I know his feelings, but that's another one that'll be a real high energy show. HiVTix.com again for that show as well. But man, you guys have a jam-packed weekend coming up at the event center. I know, and it all gets going with some Iowa Wild hockey, right?
It does. Iowa Wild. Wolves have a couple games this week as well. All leading into Saturday night with the Iowa Wild Country Night. Mitchell Tenpenny is here. Nice. We expect probably around 10,000 fans there for that. Post-game concerts are always great with the Wild. They do a great job with that. And I will, just a public service announcement. If you're coming down to the Iowa Event Center area this weekend, it's pretty busy. The convention center, we got the Iowa Port Congress going on this week. And then the Greater Des Moines Partnership has Alex Smith, quarterback who quarterbacked for the 49ers for a while. He's their featured speaker this year. So they always do a great job with different speakers talking about adversity. And, he went through that leg injury late in his career. Saturday,
great Alex Smith story real quick, but if you don't mind. So I actually got to go to his very first training camp. So I was born and raised in the Bay Area, San Jose, right down the road from where the 49ers training facility is. And got to see Alex Smith at his very first training camp as a rookie, 2005, I believe it was. And his very first practice I got to watch, and he stayed and signed autographs for every single person. The sun had gone down, it was dark, and he didn't miss a single person. So that kind of tells you the character he has, and that'll be a great get. Great. So what is that for again? That's the Greater Des Moines Partnership dinner?
They do an annual dinner every year. So cool. That'll be Thursday night. Was he an Urban Meyer guy at Utah?
That's a good question.
I almost would have had to have been, right?
That sounds right. Yeah, I don't know if they overlapped, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was a fun quarterback to watch in his NFL career, and obviously with the Chiefs for many years and Washington Redskins. So that's cool to have him in the state.
Yeah, it's a great speaker. Saturday, the Iowa Bike Expo takes place, and the RAGBRAI announcement for this year comes through. I think we mentioned that last week. So that's happening. And then also Saturday night, the John Stoddard Cancer Center is doing their rally against cancer. I know Keith Murphy always MCs that event. And the speaker this year is a former Olympian, Shantae Lowe. She was just on Murph and Andy, if anybody listens to that show, and 4-time Olympian, author, breast cancer survivor. So again, has a great story to tell, and that event is Saturday. So if you can get down there, please do. And if not, you can still go to the Rally Against Cancer website and donate if you can't make it.
Very cool. A lot of things happening over there. And you mentioned one of them, Disturbed, coming this Thursday. Wells Fargo Arena is going to be rocking, that's for sure.
Yeah, Thursday night. The doors open at 5:00. Show starts at 6. Should be a long night of rock music. So this is our last concert for January, and then we get through February with state tournaments and all that, and then have Avenged Sevenfold coming back in March, which will be the next concert that we have after Disturbed.
Yeah, and then Fall Out Boy April 3rd. And I didn't realize Jimmy Eat World is also coming with them. Jimmy Eat World is one of the first like rock concerts I saw in Des Moines at Val Air Ballroom, actually. That was a great show way back in the day. Didn't realize they were coming too. That's another band that could probably sell out an arena too.
Sounds to me like we need to get you down here April 3rd for Fall Out Boy.
I'm there.
I mean, this is your high school days.
That's right up my alley. Oh, that's my peak high school. Yeah, for sure. And then another one, we haven't talked about this, but Jurassic Quest is coming to Hy-Vee Hall February 9th through the 11th. What is Jurassic Quest all about, Adam?
All things dinosaurs, so that these types of shows really started taking off here a few years ago, but you can come in and see life-size animatronic dinosaurs. There's something for every kid, right? Every kid loves dinosaurs, and not only the animatronics that you get to go by and see these life-size sculptures, but you can also go in and they have inflatable games. They have a dinosaur dig typically. So it's just a lot of different kids' activities all centered around dinosaurs. Wow. And, it's an event that's always very popular. You buy your tickets on the Jurassic Quest website, and I think you sign up for a time to show up. And, kids seem to love it. Excuse me. They come back every year.
We got the video playing on our feed right now, and this looks way too cool. I think my daughter would be all about this, but man, kids and adults probably will have a blast at this. This looks really cool.
Yeah, the line is usually out the door to get in, so people sign up for their time to come, and they're ready to go. So it's a good event to have in February when the snow's hitting and you need to get outside and you can't be spending too much time outdoors playing. You can come get out of the house and come down and see some dinosaurs.
One more thing before we wrap up here. I just saw this come through earlier today. Kind of an entertainment news piece. We talk about that sometimes on the show. But Netflix reached a 10-year deal to stream WWE Raw for a $5 billion deal. I know you guys just had Monday Night Raw come through. Man, it's crazy to see how much money is being thrown around with live entertainment streaming. But you guys are kind of at the center of it with this entertainment, and you guys have basketball, hockey come through, and things like Raw. Like it's crazy to see just how much money is being thrown around in the entertainment space and these TV deals.
Well, it's really interesting. I haven't read into this much. I just saw the headline, but I'm curious. As somebody who advertises WWE events, I mean, one of the first things that we always do is make sure to go to our local cable company and place advertising in each WWE Raw leading up to our show.
Yeah.
Well, is this an exclusive deal that Raw is going to be on Netflix? Is that what they're saying?
I'm not sure if it's exclusive or if it's going to be like a supplemental type thing where they'll keep it on cable. But yeah, I'll have to learn more about this. But it's crazy. I mean, like Netflix, I don't believe they've done some live events. I think what did they have? Like, did they do the Chris Rock live performance? I think, and I don't know if they had some technical flaws, but. Netflix is definitely starting to get into this live streaming entertainment. We've seen a lot with Amazon Prime, with the NFL, some college games, obviously, with the Peacock Network, and ESPN Plus obviously has been in the live streaming business for a long time. But for Netflix to jump in like this with the $5 billion deal, that tells you they mean business. So
yeah, it's all evolving. It's similar to, in my opinion, the Sports Illustrated, news of this week. Where Netflix is going out and they have the technology to do and stream in a new way. And so they're going to take advantage of that. And you got to make that big splash when you're getting into live sports, kind of like Amazon did with the NFL. Peacock's doing a great job with their coverage now too. But you look at the Sports Illustrated story and, it's kind of that same, you don't want to say that cable kind of took it for granted that they would always have WWE, but maybe so, right? Sports Illustrated had its heyday before the online boom and the fact that people could get their news and sports instantaneously on all these social media platforms and websites. So you just kind of wonder, that's what's happening to the print product, what's happening to the cable product as well. You got to really reinvent how you're showcasing your products.
definitely an indication of where things are heading. I mean, you saw the NFL put one of their marquee matchups in the playoffs on Peacock, right?
Yeah.
Kind of gives you a key into where these networks, where these live stream platforms are heading. Man, it's the sign of the future, I think. So get used to it, and I think it's really interesting. It'll be interesting to follow here for the next 10 years and to see how this all evolves. We've been seeing keys of it for a little while, so big deal with Netflix and WWE. So once again, let's just pump that the new show you guys have coming, where people can get tickets one more time before we wrap up, Adam.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze coming May 18th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at highvtix.com. And I would encourage people to get them early. I think it will be a popular show based on what we've seen from other stops that he's made on his tour. So Nate Bargatze coming in May 18th. And we're not done with the announcements. I think you'll see a few more announcements coming from us over the course of the next couple of weeks. And we're excited to share those with the audience as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Adam. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning into All Access, presented by the Iowa Event Center here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We'll see you next time.